Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of the School of Integrative Psychology and facilitator of the Integrative Life Community Building course. The focus of our 8th and final class is graduation. Graduation is the beginning of a new chapter in one's life, an acknowledgement of accomplishment and an invitation to bring one's knowledge and skills into the world. It's an opportunity to now take one's gifts into a life of practice and application. I like to begin our work with an opening, centering exercise to bring our energies in alignment with our class purpose. I ask you to get yourself comfortably situated and let your eyes close and focus on a ball of luminescent light energy at the base of your spine. Affirm that this ball of energy is life force potential that has been given to you by universal grace for personal and planetary healing to use at your discretion. Now, as you inhale, bring this ball of energy up your back to the top of your head, and as you exhale, let it fall easily back to the base of your spine. Continue inhaling up your back and exhaling down your front, forming a sacred circle around your body. Sacred means to set apart for a special purpose, and today's special purpose is to affirm your graduation. Continue inhaling up the back and exhaling down the front easily and rhythmically, suggesting that your sacred circle cannot be penetrated by any energy not invited in or not in alignment with your highest good. This is a powerful intention and will serve you greatly progressing as an integrative life community builder. Now, inside this sanctuary of your breath and intention, imagine a scene in which a gathering of beings are forming together to celebrate a graduation. The mood is light and welcoming and somehow feels very inviting and natural to you. The group is gathered in a hall that has been decorated simply and elegantly with colorful arrays of flowers and banners with symbols that seem to resonate with you on a deeper than your conscious mind level. At the end of the room is a raised dais on which there are a number of comfortable chairs arranged in a semicircle facing the chairs of the audience, which is beginning to take their seats. But somehow it does not feel appropriate for you to sit in one of the audience chairs. There's a faint odor of sweet innocence and sounds of commencement ceremony music starting to play from an unknown source, announcing the arrival of the anticipated guest presenters who file up to the front and take their seats on the dais, leaving one empty chair in the center of the semicircle. At that moment, there is a dawning recognition and a jolt of energy that travels up your spine. These seated figures are your circle of guides, some of whom you recognize by sight, and some you recognize by the feelings in your heart of loving safety and acceptance. That they are all there together is a bit startling, but very compelling. You take a deep breath as you are beckoned to come forward and take a seat in the center chair amongst your guides. Now you proceed even in the face of your personality feeling a bit intimidated. They are all very gracious and accepting of the qualms your mind and body register, knowing that your spirit has longed for and even anticipated this day for so long. Now, as the music subsides and the audience comes to focus, you also begin to recognize members of the audience, family, friends, classmates, teachers, and mentoring figures who at one time or another have touched you and given you a support you needed at the right time. Again, you take a deep breath to absorb the loving presence of this assemblage. Now, one at a time, the guides seated with you begin to transmit a message that touches the mind and heart of everyone there, who understands it without words. Each guide relates how you have, in your own unique way, lived your purpose in the past months, how the vibration of light that this has generated has influenced countless beings around you, many of which were not in your awareness, and how you have taken in the vibrations of your guides and passed these vibrations on to other community members, naturally and lovingly. As each of your guides transmits their messages, you recognize patterns of thoughts and behaviors that emanate from a larger intention your soul made upon entering this lifetime, which have borne fruit. As you take in the kindness, loving thoughts, and selfless actions that you have accumulated without keeping a mental scorecard, you recognize and accept what they are communicating. That is, the power and effects of your commitment to be on earth and your intentions to be a force for good far outweigh the doubts and fears that your ego has clung to out of terror that you would recognize the greatness of your spirit and reject the false identity of your ego's self. Both you and your guides can now put this in perspective with good humor. At some point, each of them have also crossed that human barrier and stopped clinging to the small self that afforded a temporary sense of illusory security with others who huddled together in the company of their miseries. It takes courage of owning your identity to be willing to stand in the company of your guides and know that you are already transmitting guidance to others in your communities of life by your very being who you are. Again, you take a deep breath and let go of all the old attraction to pretending to be your small self. The impact of how the energy of each guide's focus on your development is now felt in your core. You realize this was not a sacrifice on their part that depleted them, but a commitment of unconditional love that always enhances the giver as well as the receiver. In this moment, now, there is a conscious recognition between you and each of your guides as a soul contract completed. Indeed, you will continue to work with each guide in various degrees for various projects. The difference being the mutuality of your relationship is even more recognized, enjoyed, and the dividends multiplied. There is a spontaneous outpouring of joy from all in the audience. Whenever any one of us accepts their larger self, everyone is blessed beyond measure. You are able to recognize and acknowledge the graduation of each of your classmates now and in the future, without a glint of jealousy, but with true appreciation for how their courage to accept their larger self as a spiritual community builder brings more joy and like-spirited companionship to your life as our planetary communities grow exponentially. Again, take a deep breath and let the energy of this vision into your heart, where it will continue to grow into manifestation day by day. Then, with a few deep and clearing breaths, bring yourself back with your eyes open, knowing that a commencement is just a beginning of the next chapter of your wondrous existence. Community is our boat or bus or magic carpet, if you will, at times. What forms it will take in the future is the wonder of our life unfolding. Regardless of the forms, I remain with you in spirit and love, holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home. I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings. Blessings in light and love.